I 45F cheated on my husband 44M a decade ago, got pregnant, and gave full custody of my daughter to my affair partner. Decade later I want to see her but husband prevents me. Need advice. Seeking advice. Throw away for obvious reasons. Sorry for the length but I need to get this off my chest. I may post this on other subreddits for more feedback. Sorry for bad grammar. I'm on mobile BTW. Long story short, I cheated on my husband a decade ago at my friend's bachelorette party and got pregnant. When my first daughter was born, it clearly didn't look like my husband. He's black, I'm white with blonde hair and blue eyes, same as my affair partner. Got shamed by the hospital staff, parents, siblings, and husband. He ended up forgiving me, partly because we already had 5-year-old twins, but threatened me with divorce unless I gave my daughter up for adoption. I felt guilty over cheating on him, but I didn't want to give my daughter up and abandon her to the foster system, so our compromise was to give full custody of her to her bio father who offered to raise her. Fast forward a decade later and we moved to another state to escape the stigma. My husband and I are now on good terms after some marriage counseling and the kids know about my affair. I've since had another daughter. Still I desperately want to see my oldest daughter but my husband refuses to let me. We get periodic updates on her from friends because my husband doesn't trust me to get a direct text from her bio father. Furthermore, the child support payments I pay him are starting to hurt my finances. My husband had me sign a prenup with lawyers present and refused to combine finances, so paying child support takes nearly 1/5 of my income every year. We usually agree that certain house bills are paid by the other, but my personal salary a year is literally ducked because 20% of it is deducted annually, $50,000 HS teacher, compared to his, $400,000 doctor. Bringing these problems up with him usually leads to an argument where he says, well, she can always come visit you by herself when she's 18. I don't want to destroy my family by bringing this issue up over and over again, but I also don't want to be a deadbeat mother to my other daughter. From what I've been hearing from friends who live near them, her bio father brings a lot of women around her, which is starting to worry me if that's true. I need advice on what to do. I feel trapped. Comment 1. I don't see how the husband's stance is surprising. He got cheated on, only found out when his joy in the delivery room was shattered. Gave her conditions of staying with him which she accepted. Now she wants to bitch about said conditions, notably the fact that she has little spending money due to her actions. She tries to say that she's worried about the fact that her baby daddy brings women around her daughter, yet somehow I don't believe this concern is the forefront of her reasoning. I say this because she had no concern about the fallout for her 2 existing 5-year-olds, nor her husband, when she decided to open her legs and have time with another man. The very least she could have done was be vigilant with birth control. Or, when she discovered she was pregnant, abort/tell the truth to her poor unsuspecting husband. She understandably misses her daughter. However, the reason she wants to see her is not born out of concern. It is pure selfishness, wanting to have her cake and eat it. Moaning about the consequences of her actions when she's lucky her husband took her back at all. One of the many things with cheating is that the cheater must subject themselves to the boundaries of their partner from then on, should they be so lucky to get a chance at all. Op is proving to ignore this need just as blindly as she did the rules of her relationship. Husband is lucky he had the foresight to get a prenup. I wouldn't want a reminder of my partner's infidelity either. Comment 2. You disrespected your husband, yes, but you betray yourself and your daughter by agreeing and continuing to abandon her. You clearly want her, and the only thing truly standing in your way is finances. You're afraid of being cut off financially by your husband and possibly losing access to your other 3 kids. These are valid concerns. But I know enough foster kids and adoptees to know that regardless of some of the harsh comments here, you are her mom. Separation from birth mother is traumatic for a child, and if you sincerely love her, it's not too late. However, if you simply need to assuage your own guilt and don't plan to be a permanent part of that child's life, please stay gone. She is a person and doesn't deserve to be treated like a revolving door. I say go see a lawyer about securing joint custody of your other 3 kids, because your husband will leave you, and make sure that you won't lose them by pursuing your eldest daughter. Or you can silently continue as you have been. I know this is a marriage subreddit, but I will never value marriage over your own children. In this case, you cannot have both your daughter and this marriage. You husband will not change his mind. Make a choice. Good luck. Edit. If you only want this child in order to end child support payments, stay away. Comment 3. I see a lot of "she probably cheated for a reason, happy people normally don't cheat." Bullshit. Don't take that to make you feel better about yourself and your mistake. You ruined your daughter's life. She might be happy with their dad, but just knowing that her mother chose between her and a man probably makes her feel a certain way. If you are not happy in a relationship, address it, work on it. If you can't, separate, and you could see all of your kids possibly paying child support for all of them, but that's what men do all the time, and we all want equality, right? Why cheat and drag not just yourself but your husband and your other 2 kids? You knew what you were doing. Your husband is a smart man for separating finances, because for all he knows you could have gone and spent his money with any other man, 'cause you never know, you probably cheated for a reason, or normally happy people don't cheat. He has no obligation to pay child support for your daughter. Don't victimize yourself. This is something you brought on yourself and will have to live with it for the rest of your life. If you want to see your daughter do it, life is short. Don't wait until she grows resentment towards you, because the longer you wait the harder it will be. Comment 4. I'm surprised at the number of commenters who seem to think that having no contact with your child is an acceptable condition of staying married. I myself am surprised you accepted it. I personally think the only way to go would be to accept that my husband would divorce me, so I could be a part of all of my children's lives, rather than be cut out entirely from one child to be wife and mother for the other 2. Why did you take this bargain? It seems like you and your husband are invested in maintaining the illusion that an affair never happened and you don't have another child. This is craziness. No good can come of it. Stand up, be an adult, say I did have an affair, I do have another child, it's not the first time it's ever happened. I do want to be a part of all their lives, if the girl is ready and wants to have you in her life. And if that means a divorce and being a lot poorer than you were before, and giving up the charade of a happy marriage with children, you take it. You are taking a lot of grief for your decisions, Hedda, but I personally can't believe your husband could make such a demand. I can't believe he wouldn't want to know your daughter himself. If my husband had another child, of course I would want to know him or her. Your husband can't ensure your future fidelity or maintain the facade of a perfect marriage by building a brick wall around you. And you shouldn't try to comply with such an absurd demand. You have your own dignity, which includes acknowledging past mistakes and their consequences like an adult. Take back the power of your own decision making. If you want and need to be part of all your children's lives, as I would, tell your husband that's what's happening, and take the fallout. You will eventually find someone who will know that you had an affair and a child 10 years ago, and love you all the same, and not try to restrict you from seeing your children, to maintain the appearance of a fake fairy tale. You do not deserve to be punished and controlled in perpetuity for a mistake you made 10 years ago. Comment 5. I don't mean to sound negative, but you kind of already destroyed your family when you had the affair whilst having twins at home. My father had many affairs, my mother being one of the mistresses. These situations duck kids. It's like there is no clear guide of what healthy love is like, and that definitely imprints itself on you as a child. You begin to think, if my parent can commit this betrayal and cause this pain, surely I can't trust anyone to not hurt me. The inability to trust becomes so real it's almost tangible. Which leads me to my next point. At low points in my life, I have both experienced and practiced infidelity. Spoiler. Both ducking suck. In my opinion and from personal experience, the later indicates a lack of self-control, and usually some sort of inadequate perception of oneself or one's relationship. This is why infidelity or external attention/validation feels like a salve for time insecurity, albeit very temporary, and usually preceded by guilt. I wonder if there is some harbored contention between you and your husband, considering the financial differences, which I imagine results in lifestyle differences. I think your only noble recourse is to prioritize the health and happiness of all of your children, even if it puts you in a position to have to restructure your dreams of what a family should look like, but only if being with all of your children is what your heart really wants. As a married woman hopelessly in love with my husband, losing him, the love we've created, and my stability would be unfathomable, but I would put a poison dagger to his heart if it meant protecting my kids. People make mistakes and duck, don't we all wish we could take back a few severe ones? I'm sorry you are in this situation, but time, kindness and forgiveness for yourself, and space for self-introspection should help. If being with your children is what you think is best for you, you may have to consider a world without your husband, and with you a sole matriarch. Explain why and how you came to that decision to your kids. Can your twins empathize with their siblings' situation? Do you talk to your kids about missing your other child? Exposing your vulnerability will help them understand. As a psychology student specializing in child development, I can tell you that kids are much wiser than we give them credit for. Again, just be sure you are honest with what you actually want. Worst case scenario, you find yourself stewing in resentment because it's all too much to handle independently. That would be pretty bad and would likely cause more damage.
Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.